Hey everybody, it's Lou with Captivate Painting and Remodeling. Today
How
we're
you
here
doing?
with Gary. Gary is our lead carpenter. He heads up our carpentry division. If you've been following us for any point in time or if we've done work in your home before, everybody knows Gary. So, you're a carpenter.
Yes.
Carpenter by trade.
Yep.
How long have you been a carpenter for?
20 plus years.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, I started out with my dad. He had his own business, and I obviously apprenticed under him for a little bit, and then I went out on my own and learned on my own by making a lot of mistakes, and making mistakes. I'm learning from mistakes, and then in 2014, I joined the Carpenters Union, and I got into like the schooling process of all that. Did an apprenticeship for 4 years, and then became a journeyman carpenter. So I had 20 plus years to hone in my skills.
What do you enjoy most about what you do?
I think what I enjoy most about is using my brain. You know what I mean? Like having to problem solve, like when there's issues and there's nobody to call. Right? It's not like you have like a number that you can call 24/7 to find a problem solution. So my biggest satisfaction is figuring out that problem and then coming up with a solution and actually fixing that problem, and then looking at the after effect of it. You know what I mean? Like how beautiful it looks after it's done.
Now we're going to talk specifically about bathrooms. So typically, when you get on site, the bathroom's already been demoed out, and we're just looking at a bare bones, fully gutted out bathroom that's down to the studs. At that point in time, what are we looking to do?
So the first thing I would look to do is to plumb up the walls where the either shower pan or new tub is going, right? Because we have to make sure everything's plumb, so everything lines up properly and it doesn't look off. Then the second thing I would do is check the floor for level. And if whatever adjustments I have to make, I will do that either by adding another stud or by cutting the existing studs and moving them in or out.
So you're coming into the bathroom and you're looking to make sure that everything is plumb, square, level. Of course, it's not, because all of these houses are old, and even if they're not that old, they people just it feels like nobody ever gets anything plumb, level, square. So your job when you come in is you're going to make sure that all of the framing adjustments are made the way that they need to be, so that people's bathrooms can last for as long as possible. Can you just explain a little bit more in detail what that means? Because not everybody knows what plumb means.
Yeah, so that's actually what I wanted to explain as well. So plumb is the opposite of level, right? Level is horizontally, plumb is vertically. So and then also you square, right? You want it to be a 90-degree angle. And that determines everything in that bathroom, because if it's my walls aren't square or plumb and the floor is not level, then my tub or my shower pan is not going to be level, right? And which means, because those come pre-pitched with a determined pitch for water to run off into the drain. So if I put in a shower pan or a tub on an unlevel floor, right, the water is not going to pitch in the right direction where it should be pitching to, which then could cause leaks or water damage or problems with something. Also, the importance of having plumb walls is for shower doors, for example. If we put in shower doors, right, glass comes out square. So we have to make sure that it's nice and square to have a nice tight seal. And then also, it is important for our tile, for our layout, right? Depending on what kind of tile you do, if you're off an eighth of an inch down here, by the time you get 5 feet up in the air, or 5 feet up higher, it's going to be off by almost 3/4 of an inch. So these things are very important, and it also determines. I mean, it literally is the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the go-to. Like you have to have a plumb level square bathroom, shower wall, floor, and everything for vanity, for baseboard, for toilet, for shower doors, for tub, for everything. It's very
Yep.
important.
Yeah, so that's why we always include 1 to 2 days of what we call framing adjustments for everybody's bathroom, because in our experience, it's like spending that 1 to 2 days right then, right there, making sure that all of that is taken care of saves so much time, money, and frustration down the line. Because if you don't take the time to do all that, you're going to end up with those tile issues like you talked about, or you're going to end up with the shower glass not fitting properly. And now, what do you do at that point? You're looking at either dealing with something that isn't ideal and it's probably going to cause it to fail early, or you're looking at ripping it out and redoing it and starting over.
Yeah, I mean, the only other option is either you leave a crappy job, which is unacceptable. So that's why it's important to do it ahead of time. And I learned this, like I said earlier, from my mistakes by being self-taught in a lot of things. I've cut the corner before where I was like, oh, it'll be fine. I'll fix it with the mud or whatever years ago. And next thing you know, the layout just didn't line up. It looked like two diagonal walls, and granted, yes, it was waterproof, but it looked terrible. So I ended up having to rip everything out and redo it. And so from that point on, what I decided to do is to do it the right way the first time. You know what I mean?
So plumb, level, square. It is well worth spending the 1 to 2 days on that right at the start of your bathroom remodel to ensure that everything is going to go smoothly from there on out.
Correct.
All right, so Rambo and the guys at J Rambo Demolition just left. We got a clean slate of a bathroom. Usually at this time, it's around lunchtime. So you're coming in, not really planning on working today. You're planning on coming in and seeing what you have to do as far as the actual framing adjustment work in the bathroom. Can you just explain a little bit to us what that's going to look like?
Yeah. So like you just said, the first half of the after the stuff's done with the demo and stuff is literally just figuring out what I need to do, plumbing up my walls. So what I usually use is I use this 360 laser, and it gives me it gives me an accurate, literally laser precision on everything. And usually what I do first is I set it up. I turn it on, and I do my square, and then I plumb everything up with it. And if anything is not on that line, then that has to be adjusted. And if it's not, again, if it's not on the laser, then it's no good for me. So it has to be perfect.
And so you're doing that for all the floor joists and all the studs in the walls and the joists across the ceiling.
Correct. I do my level right here. This is level, and I do my plumb. In both directions.
And so now, once you have your plan and all your measurements and everything, from there, what does it look like?
Well, it depends. Sometimes, well, let's say 40% of the time, I do have to cut some studs, and I pull them out to make them plumb. So let's say I pulled out 4 inches. I put a tape measure or a block that's 4 inches onto that, and I pull it out till it hits the laser, and then I secure it back to the top plate. Or I just sister a stud to it. Sistering is putting another stud next to one that's existing and just moving it out to where it needs to be, to get the wall to be plumb. Because let's be real, I've never seen a plumb wall in a bathroom. I don't care.
I see them every single time that you're done.
Well, when I'm done,
Yeah.
what I'm saying before, like new construction, old buildings, whatever, I've never seen a plumb wall.
That's the difference between people taking pride in their work and people just
Correct.
having a job and going and doing the thing.
Yeah, I mean, it does take a little longer, but I'd rather do it right, because people are spending hard-earned money, you know what I mean? And I want to make sure that they get what they pay for.
After you have everything all lined up, plumb, level, square, what else are you doing when you're in there doing the framing adjustments?
Well, it depends. If the client requires a niche, then I will have to make sure that the niche is in the right spot and it has, it's properly secured.
Right, and then we always want to add blocking for like toilet paper holders, because how many times you go in somebody's bathroom and their toilet paper holders just ripped out of the wall?
Correct.
So we always have wood back in there. No drywall anchors. We just zip that right in there. It's in a block of wood that's secured to all the framing. It's not coming off.
And that's the beauty of having a completely gutted bathroom, because you can add, Obviously it takes some pre-planning, right? You got to figure out where you're putting your vanity, where are you putting your mirrors, where is the light going, right? Where's the grab bars going, if there's grab bars, towel bar, all that. So once you pre-plan all that, then you can accordingly, add blocking for everything. Like I always say, numbers don't lie, right? So if it says on the paper that this is what it's going to be, then I'll just add a piece of wood there.
Yep.
It's so much easier than trying to put an anchor in and hoping that it'll stay.
Yeah,
You know what I
fussing
mean?
with it.
Exactly. Hoping that it's not going to be loose and, because believe it or not, there's a lot of, the bathroom gets a lot of action. You know what I mean? Like toilet
Yeah.
paper rolls, towel bars, and all that. Like it's a lot of movement. There's so many jobs that I go to where I have to, and obviously not my jobs, but jobs that I have to go to fix certain things from other people because they didn't add blocking.
That's just another testament to why it's so important to have a day or two of all of the framing getting done ahead of the time, having a good plan. This way, you don't have annoying problems down the line, like your towel bars and toilet paper holders coming loose and jiggling. And everybody has that problem. Everybody always has that, so we can avoid that by just some simple planning. What should homeowners expect when you're there doing all the framing adjustments? Is it going to be a loud day? Is there going to be a lot of going inside, going outside? Is there multiple people there, or is it normally just you?
And it depends on the size of the bathroom. Most of the time, it's just going to be me. And there is going to be some noise either from my impact gun, which is a screw gun, or my nail gun. And then there is going to be some in and out because I have to cut my studs if I have to sister them on. Now, if I do what I said before, like the other step where I cut the joist or the stud, then you will have some noises from like me cutting them. But it's not going to be continuously. It's going to be in like sections. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah, so the first day, I guess you could expect some noise and some in and out and, up and down, but I will make sure that I stay quiet as much as possible. I will try to keep the place as clean as possible. And I will check usually what I do is I check with the client, right? Because some people work from home now. And I check with them, make sure they're not on like an important business call or whatever. If they are, then I find something else to do until I'm good to go.
What does a perfect job look like in your eyes?
A perfect job when I go in and the walls are already up plumb and square
And you just
and
walk
level.
out and leave? All
Exactly. I
right.
just put all my waterproof in and do my tile and ground and install the doors. No, a perfect job. I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect job in my mind. You know what I mean? Like we can make it perfect, but when we first get there, there's no perfect job. There's always going to be something that's hiding, behind the wall
Yep.
that's unexpected or it's like there's never been a job that I've done where everything goes according to plan, but because of that I've figured out a lot of different solutions for a lot of different problems, so even if we run into something, like I will get it figured out and we will go back to according to plan.
What are the biggest mistakes that you see homeowners making when it comes to carpentry if they're trying to DIY something?
That's a great question. They're just not doing it right. I'm sorry.
You just suck. You're
Yeah,
not cut out for it.
yeah. I mean,
Call me.
what other answer is there? It's like they're just not doing it right. They don't know
Just,
what they're doing.
what's one myth or misconception that you wish all homeowners understood about their bathroom remodel?
Um, I wish they would understand that it's not as simple as just going in there and slapping new stuff on the wall. It's not that simple. There's so much that goes into it.
What do you think people appreciate the most about our approach to bathroom remodeling?
I think the transparency, us being completely honest with people, even if it doesn't benefit us, and just we treat everybody like family. I mean, I know for me personally, I love treating my customers like family, you know.
Thank you, Gary, for coming on with us. I know hopping on video is always your your favorite thing to do. It makes you very comfortable.
My kryptonite.
But we look forward to doing many, many more projects together. It's been a pleasure having you around the last almost 4 years, like you said, and we just look forward to keeping it on rolling.
Let's go.